Folks, what I want to talk to you about today is ways to improve your handgun shooting. As an instructor, I see people making some basic mistakes with just a few changes in their approach will increase their accuracy tremendously. The first thing we're going to talk about is your stance, your grip, and then your natural shooting position. So let's get on with it. Okay, the first thing we want to do in any practice scenario or range scenario is establish the condition of your firearm. Is it loaded? Is it on safe? First thing we're going to do is drop the magazine. And folks, when you drop the magazine, hold the gun vertical and let the magazine drop out through the bottom. Do not turn it over like this and do this just to keep it from hitting the ground. That can leave a round up here so that when you pull your slide back to check it, you actually chamber a round. So here again, drop it down vertically, pull it out. All right, I laid it down because I didn't want to bust it. By the way, I'm in my backyard because it was too windy to go out on the range today, so I figured I'd do this segment in my backyard near the lake. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to open the weapon, or firearm, and check it, visually check it, and make sure that there's nothing in there. And then we can bring the slide forward and drop the hammer. The other thing is whenever you're working with this firearm, always point it down range if you're at the range. If you're not at the range, just be sure you point it away from where anybody's at. Always point it away. Keep your finger off the trigger and lay it vertically or horizontally up next to the slide. Okay? Now we're going to talk about shooting stance. The biggest mistake I see people make in their stance is they get one foot forward and the other one tail dragging back, and they're leaning into it like this. Now folks, the problem is when you shoot like this, you have no stability. You lean off to the side, you can't recover very well for the second shot. You're swaying back and forth. The answer is to bring that foot up and don't square away completely, because when you do, now you don't have any forward back stability. So drag your shooting side, your main side, if you're right-handed, drag your right foot back just a few inches so that you've got a combination balance between forward and backward and left and right. Okay, the next thing is the grip. Now it changes from person to person, but generally what you're going to find if you're right-handed, you grip the pistol with your right hand, you cup the bottom and kind of make a little cup in there. See how my hand wraps like this? And you use your left hand as your stabilizing force, because you don't want your right hand to be squeezing tight, because now that messes with trigger control. You want to use the foretip of your finger on the trigger, not buried deep in like this, because then you don't have any pull control. Use the very end of your finger. And for you people that's new to shooting semi-automatic weapons like our pistols like this 1911, they function by the slide coming back like this. Okay, what you don't want to do in your pistol grip is to lay that thumb up there on top of that hand, because when that slide comes back, and I'll demonstrate by locking it back, that slide comes back, it's going to cut into the top of this hand. It's called railroad tracks, and believe me, it will cut, and it'll do it very quickly. So always keep that thumb down on the side to keep it clear of the slide. Like semi-automatics, revolvers have issues with the grip too that you got to be careful of. Mainly, this cylinder has a gap in here that allows hot gases and sometimes unburned powder to blow out when you fire. So you don't want to grip the pistol like this. You want to bring your hand down into a good, comfortable shooting position away from the cylinder. Part of having a proper grip is also how you use your arms. You don't want a stiff arm like this, because it gives you no recoil control. Bend your arms slightly in this manner. Center the gun up on your chest. This gives you this kind of recoil control, and it doesn't push your body back. Now for this next exercise in accuracy, I want to show you how to achieve the proper shooting stance. Basically what we're looking for is what is natural shooting for you, or the natural shooting stance I should say. What I want you to do is to center up on the target, get your stance that you're going to use, modify it with your right foot, drag foot back just a few inches, get on the target, shut your eyes, and make it 3 great big swooping figure 8s without moving your feet, and stop. Okay, where your gun stops and where the target is where your natural shooting stance is versus the target. What you do is you adjust your stance so that the gun comes up on target. Okay, now I'm going to do this from the back side showing the target so you can get an idea of what you're looking for. Okay, over my shoulder looking at the target. I don't know if you can see this well, but center up on the target, get your stance, okay? And then shut your eyes and do your big 3 figure 8s. And then stop. Where you stop, where you're pointing, and in this case, I don't know if you can see, but my gun's pointing low to the right. You adjust your stance so that the gun comes up on target. Shut your eyes and do it a second time. And then stop, and you should be on target. You might be a little low, a little high, but your left and right will be proper alignment. Now folks, what I'm showing you doesn't work exactly for everybody. Everybody's hand grip's different. The type of pistol they use is different. You might find using a revolver, your grip is totally different, so the natural shooting stance is going to change. But use these as a starting point, and you'll find that your accuracy goes from this down to this on a pistol target.